Hi, this is Michael from Train Fanatics. Today we're going to review these cabinets that we just purchased to hold our locomotives. Stay tuned.
About
If you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, ring that train bell. This way you can be alerted whenever we upload a new video. Again, my name is Michael. This is Train Fanatics. We, like many of you probably, have had a collection or currently have a collection where your rolling stock and your locomotives and everything, you just keep buying and buying and you keep building onto it, and you start running out of room and you start looking at how you want to protect and keep your locomotives and keep your rolling stock. We went ahead and we purchased these two cabinets. We did quite a bit of research into it and we've just settled on these two. We purchased them from IKEA. They were retailed at $69.99 a piece, and they are the Kline. They measure 16 1/8 inches wide. They measure 19 7/8 from back to front, and then from the top down to the bottom they measure 22.5 inches. That's important because a lot of people might place them in the same location that we want to, and that's going to be where we're placing these two underneath our layout. Alright, and our layout has just about 36 inches from the top of it. So we'll have just enough room to be able to slide this underneath and be able to put one or two boxes above it, but not much more. But the idea that we wanted to get these, the reason we wanted to get these was because we wanted to be able to take our locomotives, and instead of having them on the shelf collecting dust, collecting debris, for us in particular, we have ours in our unfinished part of the basement, which is right next to the boiler. So there's a lot of dust, a lot of the possibility of a little bit of soot or stuff like that coming from the boiler. So we wanted to make sure that we took it out of the element. A lot of times people decide that they want to keep their locomotives that they're not using back in the factory box. There's nothing wrong with that, except it's almost like out of sight, out of mind. So a lot of times people will buy locomotives, they'll run it once or twice, they'll put it back in the box, they'll put it on the shelf, and then they either forget about it, or two, when they go to run it, they don't want to be hassled of taking it out of the box, taking the styrofoam out, taking the train out, unwrapping it all over again just to run it for a few minutes and then just to put it back in. So we decided that we wanted to be able to have, one, easy access to our locomotives, and two, we wanted to be able to keep them secure in a location where it'll be free from dust, and then also it just keeps everything protected. There's a lot of elements within that locomotive. Not only do you have the oil and lube that's on the wheels, you have traction tires on some of the newer ones, and the traction tires, you can't exactly leave those on a track if you have a track on display like we have for our rolling stock, because if you let it sit on that track for too long, you're going to create a flattened spot on the rubber on the traction tires. So that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to keep that there for weeks on end without running it, without making sure that those traction tires are getting even wear. So again, we wanted to get these. A lot of cabinets out there, we wanted to not get something that was wood or something that was a cardboard material or something loose. We're putting in locomotives in these, and we want to make sure it can withhold the weight. Now these particular ones are great because they're on casters, and where we have it located underneath our platform, we also have our storage containers down there. They hold our holiday decorations, our holiday layout, our Christmas layout, Halloween layout, trains and houses and structures and stuff. So we wanted to make sure that we can easily get to behind this, but at the same time be able to have this underneath the layout. This particular model here, again the Eric model, it comes in white and it comes in black. We like black because anything that's underneath, you want to keep it out of sight. You want your focus when we have people come over, our friends, our family, we want to make sure that they're focused on top, not just the really bright white containers underneath. But that's just our preference. But they have them in black, they have them in white. They retailed for $69.99. But it was worth it because everything we were looking at, again, it didn't have the structure, it didn't have the support that we needed to be able to put our engine in here. Engines can run up, to several pounds, anywhere from 2 or 3 pounds all the way up to 14 pounds. The big boy weighs in roughly about 14 pounds. So we wanted to make sure that it had something that could withstand that weight. Again, this is the Eric edition of the of IKEA, the IKEA cabinet. Now, so one of the features that we really like with this is that the fact that it comes with a lock. Okay. Now, in the diagram, they prefer, or they recommend, that you put the locked drawer all the way at the bottom. Now, once I lock this, obviously this drawer won't open. And this drawer is also locked, okay, because of the mechanism that's here. However, what I noticed is that the top drawer can come out. So if you have this secured and you want to keep it secure so that people can't get to it, whether it's young children or whether it's, you just want to keep it safe for when you're not home, the thing is that you can easily open this if you have your locked drawer on the bottom. And additional to that, I can lift this out and now I can access all the trains that I have in the second drawer, which doesn't make it all too safe, or secure. But that's why we prefer this one. So when this is locked, this also will lock. And if they get to the bottom one, well, then that's okay. You're down one drawer. You're down one train drawer as opposed to these two. Okay. So now this drawer easily fits 4 separate locomotives. You can put 4 next to each other. Now I had a hack and I took the inside the box, all the shipping cardboard that was inside of here, I took the little strips of it and I put it in between. This way, as I'm opening and closing the drawer, there may be a little bit of shift. I want to make sure that my trains aren't hitting each other so that there's a transfer of paint or a nick or other serious damage. There's a couple of other things that we think we might do. They come with a particular packing material. This stuff right here, we're thinking about either lining the bottom of this. Again, it has a metal bottom to it. We're thinking of possibly putting this or putting some other kind of non-slip material located down underneath so that the trains are secured into place, or also to line the front and the back of the drawer so that as you open and close the drawer, I mean, there is enough weight, and as long as you don't fly the drawer open, the train's really not going to move all that great a distance. Right now, I run the risk of having the knuckle coupler going and hitting here. Thankfully, with the knuckle couplers being the furthest part of the, out of the train, whether it's the rear or the front, that's all that's going to hit. But we may just not decide to do anything and just leave the 4 just the way this is. So again, we have a nice length Kline locomotive here. It fits in, even with the height of the smokestacks and the horns that are on here. It fits nice, and there's enough height, enough clearance right into that drawer. Something else that works out really nice for us with this is that there's enough weight in here that I have this drawer completely open, and in here I have 2 very heavy MTH Mikado engines along with their tenders, along with an MPC Lionel era diesel locomotive. These are quite heavy, but yet nothing is holding this except for the pure weight. So this is not tipping over unless I've actually just pressed down on that. Okay, so I know that once this is in place, I'll be able to safely open and not have to worry about it having too much weight in it that the whole thing is going to come over. Now, right now, for the sake of this video, I have no trains in the top drawer and I only have 1 train in the bottom. Once I have both of these fully loaded with locomotives, there's going to be enough weight here so that it can help support this. Now, again, what I still want to do in here is I want to put down the cardboard in between. And what's great is that, with these Mikado locomotives, which are normally a little bit longer than a normal steam engine that you're going to get from MDH or Lionel, they're a little bit longer, a little bit bigger, so they can fit into the 1 slot. And then what I've been able to do is be able to piggyback their coal tenders. So that it saves me that space. So in this case, I still am able to put 2 steam locomotives with their tenders and a diesel locomotive all in the 1 drawer. It's pretty nice storage, nice size storage, so that I can just easily go in there and grab the pairs that I want and run them. Don't have to worry about taking them out of the styrofoam, out of the box, creating additional wear on the box, taking the box off the shelf, because all of that's important and to think about if you are an individual who's looking to run a train for a couple of years, package it back up, and then try to sell it on an auction somewhere. It's very important to retain the value of that box and to the styrofoam and everything else inside of it. It all is important when it comes to resale value. But nevertheless, here we are. We have 3 in here, so even if I were to have 2 steam engines and a diesel located in here, that's 3 to this drawer, 4 to this drawer. So in essence, I could potentially have a total up to 12 locomotives in one of these cabinets. Again, it's the Eric edition from IKEA, and they retail for $69.99. I can keep it secure. I can keep it keep it from the dust, keep it from any kind of debris, keep it secure, keep it safe from young children, and it's really, it's durable. Okay, now these come in parts. You have to assemble them. The first one being the first one that I have not done, took me roughly about 15 to 20 minutes. The second one, once I've done the first one, the second one took me only 10 minutes to do. So if you're someone who can easily put things together, then it'll be a breeze for you. But for me, it took me about 15 to 20 minutes. So if you figure up to maybe a half an hour of time, it's not much. It's really not that complicated. The way it came was that the base was one part, the 4 walls were another part, and then you just had to put all the sides together here. So you had to put the 4 sides and the back together, and again, it took me about 30 minutes to assemble. Now, our preferred scale of running model trains is O scale, but there's definitely a huge market out there for HO. Now, this is currently what I have in here is an HO train. You notice the considerable size difference. So in this particular case, you can easily put 2 locomotives, a rolling stock, 2 in one line, and then you can probably add a total of another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 8 or 9 across, so a total of 16. And if you really want to be able to make the most out of these drawers, even though they're a very nice size, if you actually wanted to build something with like say 4 wooden legs and a piece of plexiglass or some kind of metal or something, and then actually make a second level within the same drawer, then you'll be able to stack additional rolling stock or HO rolling stock or HO locomotives within that same drawer to really maximize that space. Or again, having the opportunity or possibly putting up to 20 different pieces of HO in here, you just might be able to utilize that and say, hey, look, that's all I need. That's all the space that I need. 20, and then a total of 60 in the 3 drawers. But having the opportunity to be able to easily access the engine or the piece that you want to select. But that's obviously entirely up to you. But just so you know that it absolutely can fit quite well the O scale model trains. Standard, you probably would have to lay it down. I don't own any standard size, so I couldn't exactly show you what it would look like in here. And I tried my G scale, my garden scale that I have, and that did not fit these drawers. So if you are an O, HO, or an N scale, these drawers could absolutely be the right thing for you, so that you can keep everything in, keep it secure, keep it out of dust and debris. So again, this is the IKEA built, IKEA made, and it's the Eric edition. We're going to go ahead and put a link in the description below. This way you can easily see for yourself online. Again, something that we love, and we are hoping that it'll last for a very long time for us. And here are the cabinets in its final resting place, located directly underneath the platform. It's because of the fact that when you go ahead and you lock this cabinet in, okay, and you turn that in, that bottom drawer is not going to open. This top drawer, oops. So now, we like, they have it that we like it Now these particular ones are great because they're on casters, and where we have it located underneath our